they would just use the budget to throw away spoiled food and not get it like marked against them as loss.
Yeah.
So, you know, a lot of these companies, they have like customer service budgets of like stuff that can go in towards returns and things. And it's just, it's all part of their, you know, the amount of money they've allotted out for people.
Yeah. I was going to say, I'm sure they accounted for it at some point. You know, so.
Yeah. I deal with that a lot, so it's on my mind a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Good try. Here's a purple ribbon for your effort.
I wasn't trying to sing, I was just groaning.
Like what I normally do.
For some people that is singing.
So before we get started, have we all seen Infinity War?
No.
Yup.
No?
No.
I mean, I just did a review on it, so yeah.
No.
I guess I was really just asking if Thomas has seen it.
Oh, so you don't want us to spoil that? Never mind.
Everybody does. Yeah, okay. Whatever.
I'm just wondering.
Do some of the good guys turn to be evil?
I'm sure all the out of context memes have been fun for you.
Because I've been trying not to see anything, but like I saw something today and I thought maybe when someone turns evil and betrays the
Batman dies.
Maybe you should watch it and find out.
And
Batman dies and then he comes back. And then he hits all of the Dragon Balls, and then he teams up with Supersonic, and they go back in time, and that's
to take the ring to Mordor.
Yeah, to take the ring to Mordor, exactly. And then just before they get there, the bridge goes out, and so freaking the ring is like, oh no, what do we do? The bridge is out. Then Batman's like, you're a ring, you can't talk. And then like the ring's like, I can talk this whole time. It was just like it was a twist. And then the ring's like, oh, the bridge is out. And then Batman's like, oh, we'll just have to build a bridge. And then
I didn't realize this was directed by M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah.
It was directed by like 17 different directors.
Oh,
actually.
Like each scene is a different director, and it feels like it sometimes.
It's actually, it's multiple different directors because they figured Infinity War, why not have like an infinite, not really infinite number of directors, but like seemingly infinite. It's like, when do the number of directors end?
Yeah, it's like that movie 42, you know?
Yeah, only
like the movie called Movie 42, not the movie 42, which is also a thing.
Wait, there's actual movie 42?
There's a movie called Movie 42, yeah.
Well, I mean, there's a movie called 42. I mean, because I've heard of
movie
it's 42.
Chadwick Boseman. He's plays number 42. Whatever baseball person was number 42.
Is Agent 47 in there?
Oh.
No, he's in Infinity War though. He's actually in the end credits tag.
The sticker.
Like Thanos does briefly show up in the movie. The trailers aren't a total lie. But yeah, Thanos is there and he's like, I got all the Chaos Emeralds in my glove thing, and then Agent 47 just like shoots him in the head, and then takes his glove, and he's like, "I'm the Thanos now."
And then they jump to another ending in a different parallel universe, and then in that ending, Thanos kills John Wick's dog, thinking the last Infinity Stone is in his dog, and then John Wick's like, "Hey guys, have you seen my new dog?" Like. And then it all goes downhill from there.
You don't fuck with John Wick's dog.
Last thing you see is just Thanos going like, gulp. I wonder who would win.
But ironically, it turned out the last Soul Stone was... Or sorry, the Soul Stone was in John Wick's dog. So, like, I mean, you kind of had to.
Right.
Like, I get it.
This is all a horrible dream. Tony Stark wakes up.
And then that dream was
he wakes up in a cave and then he has to build a suit to get out.
And then it all starts over.
Back, yeah.
Full circle. Oh, it was a dream. Back to building this suit.
Hello, everyone. This finale of Sopranos.
You just guessed you just spoiled the whole freaking cinematic.
I waited 10 years for this crap.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Charged Shot Gamescast. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed that intro. We've got today Justin.
Hi. We're the people that take 10 minutes to intro our own podcast. How you doing?
And Lo.
Hey, the more intro they have to listen to, the more show they have to listen to. And who doesn't want more of us? I mean,
Charged Shot Infinity intro.
Yeah. Infinite intro.
That's why they call it an intro.
Yeah. Infinitro.
Nailed it.
This week, who should we start with? Justin, Lo, you guys want to fight to the death for it?
No.
I would never fight Lo.
I'm a lover, not a fighter.
So
I'm just weak.
Let's start with Justin this week.
Okay. We played some more of A Way Out over the weekend, which was super fun. Yeah, I really wanted to finish it over the weekend, but my computer crashed again, which was weird. But
no.
I thought it was done, actually. Like, I took like all Monday, not all Monday, but like Monday evening, and like tried to troubleshoot it all and everything, and like I didn't have any issues until the podcast Wednesday night. For some reason, it just crashes during podcasts. So let's hope it's not listening right now.
It like crashes during your podcast. Is that well? Yeah, no, that's not true. You've had a couple issues here too.
Yeah, I have. It's like it doesn't happen during my D&D game, which also uses like the internet tabletop simulator, like a program running, and Audacity, and like I don't Hangouts. I don't know what the difference is, but for some reason it's only during these podcasts.
I don't know.
But luckily I haven't lost an Audacity file yet, so knock on whatever's nearby. But
wood.
Anyway, I don't have any wood around.
No,
oh wait, I do. It's particle wood, but
it's still wood. It was a tree at some
point. Not sure if that picked up. Anyway, we played some A Way Out, and that's still a good game. You can kind of see what some of the seams are of its gameplay.
Oh yeah.
It's very much just like you get into an area and like it just lets you do stuff. Like we're wandering around a trailer park at one point, and you can just like play baseball randomly. Like I got up to bat, and like it just let me hit the ball like from the random pitcher that went up, and then Thomas went up and like took the place of the pitcher, and so we were just playing baseball with each other for a little while, which is kind of cool.
That's cool.
I like that.
But also, there's parts where you can just like hammer in a nail
for no reason.
Not sure why, but it lets you do it. And it's like you keep hammering. Like there's only one nail, but you can just keep hammering forever.
It's an infinity hammer.
Yeah.
Infinity hardware.
And like there's some pretty fun little mini games in there. Like I did some darts for a little while, which was actually like pretty complicated.
Yeah,
there was horseshoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're all score based, so it's like you can actually you can do it together, or you can like take turns and see like who does better. And it doesn't do anything, but it's just kind of a fun thing to like, hey, am I better at horseshoes than you? And like you just take turns and see.
It's really weird because when we first started up the game, we left off at where we had to like switch out our clothes and steal a truck. And so we let out the couple that were in the house to go chase after some horses. So
that was some random little mini games.
Yeah, that's where like it just breaks the tension for me. You know what I mean? Like you're supposed to be in this house, grab your stuff and go, but you can stay in the house for as long as you want and play like Guitar Hero or Banjo Hero.
Yeah,
it's so
we're just like doing banjo and piano next to each other.
Yeah,
just like button presses, just whatever.
It's nice that they give you the freedom to do that, though. You can either continue trying to desperately escape from prison or just bullshit around somebody's house.
Yeah, but the people like don't come back until you actually get to the story point. So you can just hang out in their house. I like just laid in the bed for a little while.
Yeah,
just because I could.
Like it's neat that it lets you do that thing, but it just breaks like the narrative tension of that game.
Yeah, it brings up the flow of the
amount of random little things you can do is just kind of like. I mean, why is this in here necessarily? Like they could have, spent their development time on like polishing up some of the weird gameplay stuff rather than just like let you play piano for literally as long as you want with no reward for it. But yeah, there was some goofy stuff. Like we had to do like a driving section where like he was driving and I was shooting in the bed of the truck. and it was like the controls were kind of clunky, and it didn't seem like you could actually blow up the cop cars that were chasing you, but like you would shoot them until their engines caught on fire, and then like they would kind of like they would veer off and like hit something, and you'd wait, and then like the fire would just suddenly go out and they'd start driving after you again. And it's like those kind of things are just really goofy. And there was another section where we had to paddle together in a canoe to get down the river. And at first it was just like an exercise in frustration, because like we would keep switching sides on each side of the boat to paddle on the other side, and like we couldn't coordinate it because it was just being dumb. Yeah. And not the game's fault, but like we were being dumb. Yeah. And but it was fun. And then like it got the rapids picked up, and like the way you row, it just literally like it shifts the boat in one direction. It looks like you when you're strafing, but it's in a boat, so it's like stupid.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
And then at one point, like we like crashed into the rocks for a little bit and like flipped the boat around, but you could tell that the game wasn't meant to have the boat flipped around, and so like you're looking at a perspective, and it's just like you can't turn the camera to where you can actually see things because the boat's turned the wrong direction, and the camera only works like at a 180 degree.
Oh no!
So we're just like, well, this is our life now as the boat's turned around, and we're just kind of falling down the rapids.
We're the backwards boys now. That's what we is.
Yeah, and at some point, just kind of like the game kind of like glitched itself, and we just turned back around awkwardly, and then it was fine again. But it's like. Yeah. It just hit so many times. It just kind of like pivoted us in the water and then didn't know what to do. So those little moments are kind of like immersion breaking, but it was also really funny.
Yeah, yeah. The part where I was driving, it let me put on the horn for as long as I could, and I was doing that on purpose just to annoy Justin, but he never like flinched at it, which was.
I don't think I noticed.
You didn't even notice. I was just holding on the horn for as long as I could. Like I went through the for like 5 minutes or so.
Yeah, I don't know. And then like after you get all that, like I said, you go to a trailer park, and there's some really fun little mini games and stuff in there. But then you run into Leo's like snot-nosed little kid, and they literally, I swear, they took the normal character model, because there's basically one character model in the game that they kind of like changed the facial features of and stuff. But it's like they probably had one default T-pose that they put all of the all of the models onto.
Yeah.
It looks like they took the same T-pose and just like shrunk it to kid dimensions, because he has like these really gangly arms that like don't quite animate right as he moves. It looks like there's like too much wobble to his arms and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like he walks and he's kind of like he just like flops side to side because like he's got a full person body but like in tiny form, and it's just like he's already an annoying little kid, and then his character model just like looks stupid when he moves around, and it's like, this is a budget game, but also it's really enjoyable, and I want to continue playing it whenever it doesn't crash.
Everyone is talking about God of War's little boy. This is the boy of the year.
Yes.
In video games.
Yes, God of Boys.
Yeah, boy.
But yeah, that was a lot of fun. And aside from that, it's been a lot of like little things. I jumped into some more Kingsway because I forgot that I wanted to get back into that. Like I had all the computer issues and stuff, and it's just a very simple kind of calm game. I wanted to try a few of the different other classes, because the first game I didn't really have access to any healing abilities or anything, so it was just like potions, which are pretty rare and expensive. Mm-hmm. So later in the game, when things hit harder, it's kind of hard to heal when you don't have like an actual ability, like that uses mana that can heal. So I tried out like the mage class, but I didn't really like that very much, because you have like kind of a bar across the bottom of like shortcuts for different spells and things, but you can really only have like 4 things slotted in, because you have to have your attack, obviously, and then really one is defend, but you can switch that out. I don't really care to defend that much, so that's no problem to switch out. And there's like 3 actual slots for like abilities you get and stuff, because you're not supposed to really get like all of the abilities you have available. So basically for my mage, I had like the healing spell, which you can upgrade as you go, and then like I think like a poison spell or something, and then like just a cold spell, and then a bunch of passive abilities. But even then, like the healing spell uses so much mana, I didn't want to use it that much. So I still ended up dying on that one like way earlier than I'm proud of. But then I tried out the Beastkin, which is kind of cool because he's like he doesn't have very good favor in towns and stuff, so everything like what you try to buy is more expensive. But he has a few kind of interesting abilities that are almost like vampiric, where you can do a bite attack that like doesn't do much damage, but you get like half of that damage back in healing, and it doesn't take a lot of mana. So I had that, and then like he has some passive abilities that like drastically increase his health and stuff. So this guy's basically like just a buff, like not super strong, but like durable, and has crazy amounts of health and everything. And actually got really far with him. And it just made me realize like how diverse this game is, even though it is a roguelike. And I don't usually like those. Like depending on which class you choose and like kind of how you like build your character throughout, you get some really good stuff. And I've been playing around more with like the permanent boosts you can get using the gems after your character dies, which I talked about before, because you can put them towards like actual permanent things. Like every time you create a character, you'll start with a shield, for example, or later ones where it's like you can automatically have like +10 to your health, like regardless of what the character is. So it's kind of like, the more you play, the buffer your future characters will be. But yeah, I like that game a lot. And like it's so simple, but it's really fun. And I had like an actual boss battle because you can kind of do some basic dungeon crawling. And with my Beastkin, I made it that far because he's buff. And so I got to the boss battle, and it's like his attack bar would fill up, and then these 2 vines would show up on the screen and like kind of go from side to side, and you'd have to like click off the vines before it attacks you, and then you can go back to fighting the actual guy. And like I barely got hit because I was doing really good at hitting those vines, and so it actually kind of does test your reflexes and stuff in an interesting way that like the normal type of turn-based RPG doesn't. So yeah, there's some enemies where like when they attack you, they like drop some window in your desktop. So like you can start to get low on health, and like it hits you and like drops off your status menu, so you don't know how much health you have. So you have to like risk taking a second to open that back up, or just keep going, without really knowing how close to death you are. That kind of thing. It's interesting. Aside from that, I can't think of too much really. Oh, I did jump back into Hat in Time a little bit because part of my troubleshooting to get my computer back up and running was reinstalling Windows again. Because I thought maybe like with the new motherboard, I hadn't reinstalled it or anything. Maybe there was some driver issues, just like compatibility stuff of like it still being catered to my old parts. And so I just did a straight reinstall, and like every single time I've reinstalled Windows, it's like changed my Steam library, and I don't always notice it right away. So I'll download games without realizing it's on my like the default C drive for Steam or whatever, and I have to change it. So I had like 2 or 3 Steam libraries that were in my E drive apparently, which was like my actual main drive. Because when I've reset it at different times, I've like selected a different folder to have it default to for some stupid reason. So like before, I was saying that I lost my Hat in Time save whenever I reinstalled Windows and like set everything back up. Apparently, I just had 2 separate Steam folders that both had a Hat in Time installed. Oh wow! So like I was trying to consolidate. Like I copied all of the data from the one I wasn't using over to the one that actually had like a lot more of my games in it, which also probably explains why I had so much storage space taken out of my E drive, and I wasn't sure why. Because there's a bunch of duplicate games installed.
Yeah.
You'd think it'd be better at computers after building them for multiple years, but whatever. And so yeah, I copied everything over and then like deleted any files, and it's like this already exists in this folder. Do you want to overwrite it? And so when I got back into Steam, I noticed that like all of the games that I thought I'd lost progress for suddenly had the progress back. So I jumped back into a Hat in Time for a little bit. Went to one of the new worlds. It's kind of like the spooky graveyard world, and I remembered how conditionally I enjoy that game. Like it's amazing, but it's very much like each world is kind of its own tasks, and like my enjoyment of each world is dependent on how annoying those tasks are. Because I had left one of the worlds with like the last objective you have to do in it, which is like being the guide of this parade. And it's super obnoxious because like you have a trail of people that are kind of chasing after you because you're the lead of the parade. And like if you circle back too much, they'll run into you and you'll lose health. And like there's kind of points around there that like will drop health pickups, but they're on a timer, so you have to get across the map to pick up that health. And you're like jumping across the tops of buildings to get to places, like going across electrical wires and things like that. And there's so many opportunities to lose more health, either by like just not judging your jump correctly and falling into the crowd, which takes you damage, or like getting hit by the electricity when you're going across the tightrope, various things. So half the time I'll try to go pick up health and like lose 2 things of health on my way there, and all that stuff. Like it was just really annoying, and I still have yet to complete that mission because like there's certain things you have to complete for it, like to make the parade a success. And if you get to the last thing and then have a random whoopsie and die, you start back at the beginning of the parade, and it just like makes me rage. So I went to this other world, and like I just wasn't feeling the aesthetic or anything, but like the first 2 worlds in A Hat in Time are so solid, and I want to continue that game more now that my save file is back. But I think I just need to be in the mood for it. But yeah, it's still really good. And soon, our buddies that are making Funk Unplugged are releasing their game, so hopefully I'll get to check that out and report back on it in a few weeks.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm kind of in the mood for that type of game. I just need to like, not suck at it because I haven't really been playing games that much, so I'm like I think I'm a little rusty. But that's pretty much it, I think.
Whoa, what have you been playing this week?
Let's see, what have I been playing this week? Oh, I did play a little bit of Double Kick Heroes. I actually did a nice little video on it. It's on the website. You should check it out. It's sweet. It's actually a cool little rhythm game with the cool art style. It's like the 8-bit kind of art style. So it's like really nice 8-bit though. So like all the animations are real smooth and stuff like that. The music is rad. It's nice and catchy. It kind of has more of like a rock metal sort of theme to it. So
yeah, the music is real good.
The music is really good.
I was watching that video. I was like, man, the music was super good. Like you were tapping your head to it. I was like banging my head to it. And I went on Steam and they're selling it with the soundtrack. I might just get the soundtrack.
It's funny that you say that because I was just looking at the soundtrack after I did that video. I'm like, I kind of want to buy the soundtrack to this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, like continue to keep talking about it.
Yeah, but so yeah, I played a little bit of that. I just mostly checked out the story mode, which is basically just consists of like you play a song and then like you go to another area, then like there's like a dialogue kind of scene, and then yeah, that's mostly what I play. Go check out the video though and see if it's something that you might be into.
Apparently you can like make your own tracks in that, or like upload files or something.
I didn't really dive too much into that aspect of it, but that intrigued me. I was like, huh, you don't say here. So I guess you can like set up your own inputs and stuff like that. Now that I think about it, I do remember there were some certain Dance Revolution games, like console versions, where like they did let you like edit like the steps and all that kind of stuff. So it's probably something similar to that.
There was some stuff in there that looked pretty like it looked pretty good for at least for my taste. There was like some Linkin Park in there, and I think there was like a Metallica song, and there was some other good stuff in there that I like listening to. So this might be worth for me checking out.
Any Nickelback?
Yeah, sure.
Any Smash Mouth?
I doubt it.
Oh, it looks like I have.
You have to make your own.
Yeah, exactly. Looks like I have to get it to make my own.
Quick plug before I forget. On some games I want to check out before next week's show. Twitch Prime has updated their games for May, and there's a bunch of stuff on there right now. But the ones I mostly care about that I've actually heard of before, there's Cluster Truck, Titan Souls, and the game we talked about. I think it was in the news last week. I Hope, that one that's supporting cancer research. That's also on Twitch Prime right now. So I'm going to check out all 3 of those before next week's show. But grab those while they're available because they seem like they're all great games.
Yeah, yeah. Nice. So yeah, other than Double Kick Heroes, I played a little bit of. It's funny because I played Double Kick Heroes, and then I had seen that there was a update to Paladins, the free-to-play hero shooter. So I'm like, oh, I'll play some hero shooter. I'm feeling a little bit of the hero shooterness. So I hopped into that for a little bit, played some matches in there, messed around with my loadouts. And then I actually had a pretty good week work-wise. So I got a nice little payday today. And so I decided to reward myself. I was either going to get a DLC pack for Xenoverse 2, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. I was either between that or Overwatch. So I decided to pick up Overwatch. I'm like, I'm always talking about getting this anyway. So I grabbed it, gave it an install. Yeah. I figure if I already know for a fact that I enjoy Paladins more than Overwatch because I played Overwatch before, during a free weekend. I'm like, oh, this is a cool game, whatever. But I have friends who play Overwatch and people who prefer Overwatch over Paladins. So it's instead of forcing them to play my game, I'll just cave in and play theirs because like you said, I'm a sellout. Anyways, yeah, other than that, that's pretty much it, I think.
Who's your character to play as?
In Overwatch or Paladins?
Overwatch.
Oh, Overwatch. The only character I'm okay-ish with is Lucio. I also like doing his wall rides and shit because it's fun.
I don't think you said. You just said you're a fan of Lucio, so I didn't think you ever played as him.
I played I played the most matches with Lucio, and I did okay with him. I think I also checked out Hanzo, but I guess everyone will freaking hate you forever if you pick Hanzo or something. I guess I don't know.
Don't ever talk to the Overwatch community.
Don't talk. Okay, because I like his play style. I like the archery shit. All right, maybe I will.
Don't listen to Overwatch players.
People just hate. I don't know. Whatever. But anyways, yeah. So yeah, I'm looking to play a little bit more Overwatch. So if you ever are in the mood for some Overwatch, or if I'm in the mood for something other than Paladins, but usually Paladins is my go-to. But yeah, Overwatch is a pretty game. It's fun. It's pretty much the similar kind of gameplay, different kind of twist. Let's see. Other than that, that's pretty much it. I know there's a new update for Fortnite, but I haven't actually gotten in and played yet. So I'll probably check that over the next week or over the weekend or something.
Oh, you mean the Battle Royale version? Battle Royale?
There's no. I'm talking about the Save the World. There's always updates for Battle Royale.
Fortnite, the OG Fortnite.
Well, it is the original game mode, but I guess technically the real quote unquote Fortnite now is probably Battle Royale. If you think about it,
I just like pushing your buttons. That's all.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I see. I didn't realize. Anyways, but yeah, so I haven't really checked that out yet. And speaking of Battle Royale, we should probably all three of us should probably get together sometime and just play a couple of matches, see if we're trash or not. I know I'm probably not.
Fortnite?
Yeah.
I only have it on PS4.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if progress transfers between systems. I would download it again. It sounds dumb, but the only real reward for that game is the rank ups, so I don't really want to lose that by going to PC. You know what I mean?
It might carry over. I'm not sure.
Who knows?
But that's a good question. Yeah, who knows? I don't know.
They might link your Epic account to it.
It probably does.
That's why I'm thinking it crosses over because it's all ties to your.
It needs your Epic friends, right? So
yeah, but Sony's dumb.
So
if they could lock away that content, they would.
Mm.
I know.
Plus, I have a PS4 exclusive skin for my character, from PlayStation Plus. So it's very possible it's individual.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I know. Uplay is the same between all systems. My PC progress on there works with Xbox.
That's cool.
That's a totally different thing.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've been playing. Also, just quickly on the quick note, since I mentioned Paladins, I think we should get together sometime and play some Paladins also. I think they were working on some kind of Battle Royale type of mode too, and it looks interesting-ish. So, I don't know. It should be interesting. Check that out, maybe. Yeah.
I don't really care for Paladins. I tried it with you. I couldn't get into it.
Couldn't get into it? Yeah, fair enough.
I think I
don't really like the hero shooters though.
Downloaded it and then not have played it. Sounds like something I do.
Hey, Steam's a big place, so I mean, it's very possible.
Yeah. I'll give you guys one guess at what game I've played this week.
I already know.
How,
already know.
How do you know?
I already know.
Destiny 2 or Yakuza 6.
Yeah.
I took 2 guesses. I don't care. I don't play by your rules.
Well, you would have gotten it with the first one.
Wouldn't have. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Destiny 2 this week.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I may or may not have seen you earlier in my friends list as I was installing Overwatch. I'm like, oh, predictable. Predictable. Move on.
Yeah, they had the Iron Banner this week for the last time for season 2.
Uh-huh.
So I went on there, got the seasonal gift, and I got a banner and 2 different types of shaders, and that's pretty much it for. That's what you get for completing the seasonal.
2
different types of shaders, yeah.
Different types of shaders.
Did you rank our clan up?
Christmas.
No, we're really close. I think if you guys played this week, we might be able to rank it up to 5 before it rolls over for next week when the DLC comes out.
But I don't have
what do we
time.
Get? Shaders?
Arrested Development Season 4 comes out again tomorrow.
All right, yeah.
We get shaders.
And I'm helping my brother move into his house this weekend.
Okay. Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Destiny too. I actually like the Iron Banner multiplayer, the 6v6, 5v5 when it actually works. Today, for some reason, it's had like a really tough time trying to like get people together and connect. I was constantly like dropping out of games. It was really odd.
So that Iron Banner, is that the same thing as like Team Deathmatch, just bigger teams? Or
it's like you control 3 spots.
Oh, like point control.
Yeah, it's
okay.
like point control. It's like control.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh yeah, I like that game mode. Kind of like domination.
Like if you have 2 spots, if you have like 2 points, you get 2 points for every kill, plus whatever modifiers are on it.
Huh.
I seem to do like amazing at that game mode. I don't know why. I just like melt everybody.
Nice.
Yeah. That's pretty much it for that. I played a lot more Tekken, or not. I played some Tekken 7 this week. I actually issued a challenge to my friend Chris if he could beat me with King. So I just kept playing as King and I kept dominating him until he finally beat me. It was like maybe 4 or 5 games it took him, but he did it. Yeah.
You were the King of Kings?
I am the King of Kings.
The King of Kings.
Cerebral Assassin. What else? How many other nicknames does he have? It's a wrestling thing. Triple H. Yeah. Yeah, Tekken 7. I played a lot of Dead Rising, the first game. There's Humble Bundle going on Humble for PS4 games and PS3 games. And a couple of them were like Dead Rising 1 and 2. So I just like jumped in there, played a little bit more Dead Rising, and get used to it. Like, oh yeah, level up my character.
Sweet.
Like that game's still pretty fun. It looks like a 360 game at this point. You know, it's rough, but it looks decent enough, I guess.
It still plays well.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, just trying to think of what else. I always take a while to think because I have so many different systems and stuff. Now that I'm on the bus, taking the bus to work, I thought about taking my Switch. Nope. I just use my phone and I just play word search.
You're the worst.
I don't want to carry this bulky
play
thing.
this modern console on the go. Nah, I'm just gonna play a newspaper game.
Hell yeah, man! Word search is awesome. Don't diss word search.
Newspaper game. I like that.
I used to make word searches for a while.
Yeah.
When I was like a kid, and I would like hand them out to like my family. They would do word searches. I wonder if I could be a word search writer. That'd be cool. Like a game.
I'm for sure they have like apps that can do that now. You just put in the list of words, and it's like, okay, we'll just jumble these up. And
What about like the 60-year-old people that still read newspapers.
It reminds me of a Brooklyn Nine-Nine episode where they contracted this crap, not word searches. What's the one called with like the lines? Jumble? Yeah, a crossword. Like he like writes crosswords and like makes up all the clues and stuff. And they contracted him to help them solve a murder case or whatever, because he was like really good at riddles. And like it seemed like the criminal was like a big fan of his, and so he was like hiding them in like, you know, ways that the guy would be able to figure out. And so it was all about like really absurd like word puzzles and yeah. I don't know. I love Brooklyn Nine-Nine and I like any reason to think about it, but it just kind of reminds me of that, like the people that actually have careers like being really good at that kind of thing, and I'm like, that's not real, right? Like people that write greeting cards aren't real, right?
Not anymore these days. So you just have a computer do it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was just thinking, speaking of older people, I have a story I want to share. I was walking home, I think it was yesterday actually, and I bought a slice of pizza for myself, and I was just waiting for the bus, and I had these active noise canceling headphones on, so they cancel out a lot of noise, right? And I was just, I don't even remember what I was doing at the time, but she like touched my shoulder, and I freaked the fuck out, and I just threw my pizza in the air. I was like, oh my god. And then she's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm only like 86. I'm not a threat."
Then you just choked out an old lady for ruining your pizza.
Yeah.
Is that just fingers to the neck?
Oh, and I was wearing my Bullet Club shirt at the time, so I guess I was looking kind of tough. And she's like, "Is Bullet Club like a bullet? Is it a gun club?" I'm like, "No, it's like a nerdy wrestling thing from Japan." She's like, "Oh, okay."
Why did a little old lady just randomly talk to you?
She said there was a bee flying next to me, but I didn't see no bee.
She wanted your pizza.
She thought you were cute.
She wanted my pepperoni. No, I'm not.
She wants your pepperoni. Yeah. That's exactly it.
All right. Justin, where can the people find your pepperoni?
I think I still got some in the fridge actually. We made homemade pizza last weekend, and it was super good. Like turkey pepperoni with like mozzarella and cheddar cheese, and some fresh onion and green pepper. Yeah, like homemade sauce. Good stuff. Anyway, to answer your question, now that I've made myself want pizza again, I am at Zero Score on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and all that good crap. I believe by the time this episode goes live, my first video for Marvel Month will be live, so go check that out. My list of a very specific list of my top favorite Marvel games, not based on movies. Don't get mad if something you love isn't on the list. It's a very specific list.
Yeah.
But yeah, I always love Marvel Month. I'm kind of sad that I accidentally missed it last year, so I'm excited to get that out. I'm really proud of this video. But anyway, that's me.
Low.
You guys can find me on Twitter at Nero the Hero, N3R0, THEH3R0. You can also find me on YouTube, Nero the Hero with letters. I upload videos sometimes, and you can find me here every week with the Charged Shot Boys, chatting it up on the good old Gamescast.
And you can find me, your host Thomas, on Twitter at CSG Thomas on Twitter. You can also find me on chargedshot.com. That's where all our videos and podcasts and written stuff is. You can also email me, Thomas at chargedshot.com. I got a couple game codes in the mail today, and I'm probably going to do a couple of videos this weekend on them.
Nice.
And see, we got a code in for like a multiplayer game, and I only got one code. And they're like, Smart. Play with your friends. I'm like...
They probably do that on purpose because they figure if they give you one code, you'll buy them for your friends.
Yeah.
And they still get a sale.
Instead, I just put in a request for another code or 2 other codes. See if I can get you guys to play with me.
That works too.
Yeah. The game is kind of like a spy party, so it's like you're supposed to find the person you're supposed to kill. So that could be fun. Kind of like the ship, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's all my stuff. Until then, guys, enjoy your games.
Bye, everyone.
I'm gonna get my butt pillow.
Okay. I'm actually going to make this 2 separate audio files. I know he hates that, but I'm nervous.
Understandable. We don't have to tell him that, though. Let it be a surprise.
I mean, he should probably know.
Yeah.
Gamescast 68, I think.
I think that's right.
Okay. I'm making it 2 separate files just in case, because I'm paranoid.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather not lose, everything if it does happen.
Yeah, no problem.
But just know that.
Yeah.
Because I was just gonna pause it, save project, and then continue. But if it's gonna be broken up anyway, might as well just make it 2 separate things.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Let me know when you hit record again.
So, I'm good. We're going.
Cool. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Video Game News and News Show, hosted by your host Thomas and Justin.
Hello.
And lo.
Hee-haw. I mean, news. Woo. Woo.
Are you like a newscaster donkey?
Wee woo. Hee-haw, get ready for the news.
He was acting like an ambulance before, too.
Yeah. I identify as a donkey and a ambulance.
Newscaster.
Ambulance newscaster, yes.
So, like a pack mule of injured people, basically.
Yes. Yes.
Cool. Wow.
Everybody hop on, get ready to save some lives. Hee-haw. Also, check out the latest in the news.
It's like you carry around the sick people, but you also have like newspapers in your satchel on each side.
So they can read it while they're dying.
Yeah, exactly.
Saved my life, and I was also informed of the current events.
Speaking of news.
Oh. What
starting out strong with the segues, huh?
You should just have that be your segue for everything. Speaking of news.
Oh my god. I tried to
just phone it in.
You didn't, actually.
Yeah. Speaking of news. Goodness.
Yeah, Paladins is the free to play hero shooter goes into full release next week.
Woo!
So I guess it finally reached 1.0.
It's about to, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Lo, is this going to still remain as free to play?
Yeah, it'll still be free to play. I believe that they are no longer offering the Founders Pack, which originally was like $20, and it gave you like all current and future champions or whatever as they released. I don't know if they're going to have something equivalent to it, but yeah, the game had gone through quite a few changes before this. Actually, one of the major ones being more of like a almost like pay to win sort of like aspect to it, which they reversed, and everything was all well and good after that. So it's kind of a good thing they did, because Paladins is a pretty cool game. It's a good game. It's gaining in popularity. And then also, until it releases or goes full release free to play next week, all of the champions are actually available. So you can play as any of the champions. They're all unlocked. I believe there were 30, there were just over 30 or so last time I counted. So that's quite a bit. So they started off with like 12 or something like that. So the roster has expanded quite nicely. And yeah, I just thought that was just kind of worth mentioning.
You had talked about the battle royale mode that they're doing.
Yes.
And there's a little bit of that info in here, and it looks like it's being spun off into its own game called Paladins Realm Royale.
Oh, so it'll be separate from. Oh, okay. I was thinking they were going to be like kind of like Fortnite, where it's like you load into the game and then you like pick which mode you want to play. So
yeah, I think that's how it was originally planned, but now it's its own thing. Probably because it's different enough that they didn't want to confuse people. Which, admittedly, Fortnite probably should have done. But hey, whatever.
Yeah. Also balancing too. I remember there were like balancing issues from Fortnite. They would balance a weapon in one mode, and then it would carry over to the PvE, but it balanced in PvP was not balanced in PvE, and vice versa. So this is probably a better call, having them be separate.
It does sound kind of cool, though. There's like, you can break down stuff you don't want into shards, and then build those shards into legendary like items at the forges around the map. So realistically, like, someone could camp out at a forge and like just wait for someone to, you know, to come in. So it, like, that sounds terrible, but it's at least like a different play style. It's not like, you know, PlayerUnknown's where it's like all very serious, like militarized, like you have to watch your back constantly, and it's also not like Fortnite where like it's just you can't even hide in an attic because someone can just break through the roof and like Kool-Aid man you. So it has its own feel to it, which is nice.
Yeah. In addition to that, there's also a lot of like chests you can loot. There's lots of loot scattered all over the map, and you can either pick up armor pieces, which you can craft and upgrade at the forge. There's also character weapons. The weapons from all the champions drop as items, and they all have their own like unique like mechanics to them, like the champions in the other mode. And in addition to that, you can have up to 2 weapons, and then you can have up to 2 skills. So the skills that drop are also skills based on the champions in the other game modes. So it's kind of interesting. It's kind of like you like kind of come up with your character build as you progress through the game. You start off with like a melee weapon, I think, or something like that. So yeah, I've only seen like very early like alpha footage of it, so it's very much a lot of placeholder content and stuff like that, but it looks promising. It looks like they're doing enough, just enough to kind of like put a like nice little spin on the whole battle royale game mode. So yeah, we'll have to see.
I don't know, I might be willing to check this game out again, like with the new, you know, there's been a lot of changes, so maybe it's worth checking out. It's like when you first started playing, probably like end of 2016 that I first checked it out.
It was a very different game back then. Yeah
Who
very different.
knows?
Yeah, well, let me know.
Speaking of news, we have Soul Calibur 6 Taki character reveal trailer.
He did it.
Yeah, Boobs is back.
Woohoo.
All right.
Oh, I guess that's where I come in.
I mean, I don't really have much to say about it.
Taki's like been a staple since I think the first Soul Calibur. She might have even been in Soul Edge. I don't remember. I remember a few characters in Soul Edge, but not all of them. I want to say she was one of them, but I freaking love that game. But yeah, so it's no surprise that she's back. But I think I had mentioned with the reveal of Siegfried, I was like, I'm kind of surprised they haven't shown Taki yet. And sure enough, she's the next one they show off. So yeah, she looks good. I mean, she's always been like one of the ones I enjoy more, just because she has interesting weapons. She's got a nice pair of weapons now. I don't want to be that guy. But she has like cool short swords and like does like really fast combos and stuff. And it's just I like those more speedy characters than like the big bulky like Siegfried types. So yeah, I'm excited for
Rush Down, I think they call it.
Yeah. But yeah, there's not a lot to say here. It's not surprising.
Yeah.
Speaking of news, we have Stardew Valley update.
Woohoo.
It's the one that brings the multiplayer.
Oh.
Kind of. It's a beta, but
yeah, there's a beta for the multiplayer, but also brings along a bunch of other options and hidden features that are still being discovered, I guess. One of them is that you can build Pam a house. Justin's super excited to build Pam.
That
I
like.
I thought you were gonna be like.
I just like it because like I married Penny.
Yeah.
And I don't like Pam. Like I think I wanted to rescue Penny from Pam.
Yeah.
But like now that I'm married to Penny, it's like I feel like, it needs to close out that arc to like build my mother-in-law a home now, like make her better.
Yeah, there you go.
After I've rescued Penny from there, I gotta, help Pam out too. So
that'd be funny if you go through all that stuff, build her the house, then it just like fades to black, and it says, "And Pam never changed."
The house sold that house for drugs.
The house just slowly like deteriorates over time. Yeah, it's worse and worse. You go inside, there's liquor bottles everywhere.
She backs her trailer up to it.
No, Pam. It's just no more house. It's just her trailer, just back where the house was. Oh man!
See, like I kind of wish Stardew Valley had voice acting because I totally picture Pam as like the Griff, the smoker that's always just kind of like. So I want to see her like rags to riches, and she's like in this nice house, but still just like chain smokes, and like you can smell it in the walls, and yeah, she's got bottles all over the floor.
Some people call me Pamela, but I hate when people call me Pamela. So Pam it is.
This is MTV Cribs. Come check out my crib. Over here we have my liquor collection. Over here we have the rest of my liquor collection. And in the back we got the good stuff. That's about it. Thanks for coming.
Nice.
Oh, Pam. Anyway, the multiplayer, actually, like, I'm not sure what I think of it. Now that it's out, and, like, I've kind of read up on I haven't played it yet, but I've read... That Pam voice hurt my throat.
Yeah, that's why
I've read up on some of the stuff that they allow, and it sounds like it's just, like, you build cabins for the people that come in, and then they can just, like, do your chores with you. And that's about it. Like, to change days, you all have to agree to sleep at the same time. And, like, to do events, you all have to, like, you know, accept a prompt. It's like Diablo 2, or Diablo 3, I mean. But, like, there isn't a countdown timer. It's just, like, you gotta wait. And that sounds kind of weird. Plus, there's no local multiplayer. And, like, I wanted to, like, just run around and start a new farm with Brooke and just, like, have us have our, like, multiplayer farm. But she'd have to get the game, and she doesn't understand Steam. So, like, that's not going to happen. So, yeah, I'm kind of bummed about that. But it's also a beta. That could change.
Right.
But it sounds a little wonky right now.
Yeah.
Some other things that are included is the community upgrade option. It becomes available from Robin after you fully upgrade your home for the low price of 500,000 gold. You can build a home for Pam, the bus driver. We've already talked about that. What else? You can invest in some wine riches back into the community. There's an option to build additional shipping containers as well as a new garden pot, so you can grow crops inside all year round.
Weed.
That's what the greenhouse is for.
You can just make your riches off of wine and weed.
I'm sure there's like mods for that already.
Probably there is.
Some other stuff includes friendship events for Linus, Willie, and Krobus. The new night market event, where merchant ships come to Stardew Valley docks. Horses can wear hats. It's probably the best one. An auto grabber that automatically harvests from cows, sheep, and goats. That's actually probably the best one.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I hate friggin' trying to grab my chickens because they're sitting on their eggs constantly.
That actually might be enough for me to boot it back up and play it again. You can change your profession via a statue of uncertainty in the sewers, and also 3 new fish. So I assume the profession is like the abilities and the skills that you get along the way. And
yeah, I think at some level you could like choose your proficiency, which is like kind of the profession that you've chosen.
That'll be helpful for me
certain
because I've picked one where I was like super upset with it. So
yeah, that's like whether you focus on like getting better farming stuff or mining stuff or whatever the case. I think. I don't know. We need Jamie.
Yeah.
Speaking of news, speaking of Stardew Valley Publisher reveals
a
new game called Eastward. It's called Eastward, developed by a small Shanghai-based indie game studio called Pixpill. Eastward is an adventure game set in the world of on the verge of collapse with RPG, dungeon crawling elements, and influences from 90s anime. The Legend of The Legend of Zelda and the Mother series. It's coming to PC and Mac, but has not been given a release date yet. You control a worker named John who has to guide a young girl named Sam through the series of dangerous cities, while Eastward is set in a decaying world with slowly shrinking human population. The characters you do meet seem quirky and full of life.
Wait, so it's a battle royale game?
Yeah. 100 Johns.
Slowly shrinking human population?
Yep.
Last John standing.
50 Johns, 50 girls.
Yeah. This looks really cool. Like, I love the art style in it. It's that kind of like that Chucklefish style at this point. I feel like they pick up games that all kind of look the same.
Yeah.
But it's really well animated, and it just kind of has a nice look to it. But I'm not entirely sure what you do in it. Like, it seems like more of just like a walking simulator with like a cool art style. But I don't really notice anything as far as like combat or anything's concerned. And there's not that kind of like Harvest Moon hook to it. So are you literally just like walking around, interacting with people and exploring the world? It's kind of strange. Well, I guess there is some combat. I'm watching the trailer, and like I saw him like using a frying pan against some enemies, which he's totally gonna get sued by Bluehole.
Totally.
So enjoy that.
Jeez. Don't they know? Why don't they know?
Yeah, and there's like some duo puzzle solving with like the girl up on a box and like the guy pushing it across the other side. So it's kind of some Last of Us puzzle type things, but okay. There's a little bit more to it than I thought. Just like I was looking at pictures before, and it just looked like like an RPG walking simulator basically. But I'm pretty sold on it now. I sold myself on it with the trailer.
Congrats.
Thanks.
Yeah, it looks pretty neat. Looking forward to it. Let's just tally up all the trailers. So let's begin with some Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Yes.
Not quite a trailer, but new footage at least.
Videos. Yeah, what'd you think?
It still looks pretty rough. I mean, this is pre-alpha footage, like, to be clear. And I mean, it's a gorgeous looking game, but like some of the again, some of like the arm movements and stuff look a little rough. They're kind of like the characters are a little floppy. And the textures seem like they're, not quite polished up yet. But I'm not quite sure what this game is. Because like Beyond Good and Evil 1 was very much like a Zelda clone. There were some differences to that, like some of the ship stuff and the more futuristic setting and things like that. But this looks more like almost an open world, like you're just like a No Man's Sky, but with like combat elements and stuff on the ground. So like you're kind of going from place to place in your ship, and then like you land and it becomes like a like I guess a Destiny, but third person and with weapons. I put in the Discord that like this looks like what Destiny wanted to be, that like truly open world, like, you land somewhere, jump out of your ship, and like you're just there. Like there's no loading times or anything. But yeah, this footage, this is really the first like gameplay footage we've seen of it, and it doesn't really explain what the game is yet. So I'm kind of hesitant. Like it's been going forever, and there's pre-alpha footage that doesn't show much.
This game isn't.
I mean, at least this game is coming. It's not, Final Fantasy VII remake or anything.
It's not coming.
But I don't know. I don't know what it is. Basically, that's my takeaway from this. But I want to know.
It
looks good.
Some of the motion caption stuff looked pretty good. Like we're twirling around the staff and all that.
Yeah,
that's essentially what the video is about. Is just that. There's nothing really to go off of. They just show you a little space, like your planes and stuff and different planets, but who knows? It's probably just like loading into different planets.
Yeah, there's like basically like maybe 20 seconds of actual footage in that 2-minute video. They just keep looping it.
Yeah.
It's very early. We'll see more at E3 hopefully.
I still need to like play more Beyond Good and Evil. Maybe like once this game actually gets a release date and I know like when I need to have it, done by, maybe I'll jump into Beyond Good and Evil like legit. But I've just I played a little bit of the beginning and like I enjoy the gameplay loop. But I'm not tied. There's nothing that draws me to it. I don't know why.
Yeah, I've played the first one, and I haven't replayed it. I don't know if it holds up particularly well. But I liked it when I played it at the time. I just don't know if, like I said, holds up.
Yeah.
Because I tried playing it again, and I was like, I don't want to go through all this like early mission stuff. I kind of just want to get plopped down in the middle.
Yeah, I think that's it. There's a lot of like exposition in the beginning. You don't play much of it.
Yeah, like stuff doesn't really open up until later. Like it's like repair your aircraft, drive around a bit. Do you know how a camera works? It's like yes. Anyways, moving on. We've got Red Dead Redemption 2 new trailer. Did you guys take a look at this one?
Yeah, I forgot to until like 5 minutes before we were starting, but yeah, it's Red Dead.
Yeah, it's just more like setting, like window dressing. It's like welcome back to the land of Red Dead.
Right.
I feel like I'm the only person in the world that doesn't care about this game at all.
Man, I'm super hyped for it. I almost bought the first one again on my Xbox.
Nice.
I was looking at some of the stuff that they did for the Xbox One X. Like it actually looks way better than I thought it would look when they up-resed it and they really re-released it. The water looks pretty damn good. I kind of want to play the first one again, but I'm just gonna wait until this comes out.
Oh, just play the first one again. It's a good game.
There's a new one coming.
It's like October. Just play the first one.
Yeah. It's not like it's not like you're not going to enjoy it. Come on.
I have to rebuy it. I don't want to rebuy it.
Fine.
It's like an extra $30-something to rebuy it.
I'm surprised it's not a Game Pass.
Yeah.
Yeah. I canceled my Game Pass, by the way. I canceled a lot of services just because I wasn't using them and I need to save money. So
yeah. I realized that with this new job starting, like there's weird pay period stuff going on.
Yeah.
And I'll basically like, with starting like a really nice new job, I'll basically be going like a month without getting paid.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, crap, I need to plan some stuff out before I get like my first really good check.
Yeah.
Because I can, easily like reimburse myself after that. But
yeah.
I'm a little nervous. So I'm like, I've got to put everything else on hold for right now. And then like, plan out like, okay, this is what I'm going to buy then. But until then, it's more ramen and putting off bills, which is unfortunate. But yeah, I keep eyeing God of War, and I'm like, nope, can't do it. Gotta wait.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah.
So out of the trailers and into the Nintendo, that doesn't work. I've been listening to it recently, the audiobook of the book, and they talk about that song like out of the blue and into the black. So that just came to my mind. It's a really good audiobook, by the way. You should listen to it.
Speaking of getting into the black, Nintendo has a new president who seems to be like he's going to be very successful for the company. Boom! Nailed your transition for you. You're welcome.
Yeah, so the new president, his name is Tatsumi Kishima. Oh no, that's the one that's retiring in June. Succeeded by Shuntaro Furukawa. He's currently a board member of Nintendo and the Pokemon Company. Become Nintendo's 6th president. He's apparently 46 years old, which I guess everyone's saying is young. So I'll just take their word for it.
It is for the president of a company.
How old are presidents of companies? Like 70?
Well, I mean, like long-standing companies like this.
Okay.
But it's crazy to think, like, if you're talking about his age, it's crazy to think that this is the 6th president in 128 years of Nintendo's operations.
Yeah,
that is kind of crazy to think.
Like if you average that out, each person has been president for like 20 years. Over 20 years.
Crazy.
So yeah, he's got to be young so he can last until he's like 70.
Yeah. I'm trying to look for the quote that just makes it look like he's awful.
What? He's not though. He sounds cool. He wants to focus more on mobile gaming, which is kind of weird, but he's young. He wants to appeal to the hipsters or the hip kids. Sorry.
There was a quote that I saw that said like Nintendo's not doing as well as they could, and they're gonna invest in ways to make that to like maximize.
Oh, that might have been the mobile quote.
Profit, yeah. I don't know. I have no really opinions on this guy. I don't know who he is, but that's all I've really heard was that he's probably gonna look into ways to just make Nintendo richer, I guess, which is great as a company.
He looks like he's 13, by the way.
Does he?
Yeah, because there's a picture of him on Bloomberg. Like I went there to see if I could find that quote. And it's like it's him next to the current like the interim president, and it looks like a little kid and his disappointed grandpa. But there's like probably 20 years between them.
Wow,
it's weird. Let's see.
I'm not giving you any vamp.
Oh, is it? No, that's a different. That's not him. But it says no other console in recent history offered such an array of blockbusters in the first 12 months after launch. But the Switch absolutely needs more mega hit games in 2018.
Which
that's not him saying it, but that is a valid quote.
Anyways, Justin, what do you think of this guy?
I think it would be good. Like, he's fluent in English, which means he can take over Nintendo Directs again, and we can actually get something closer to what like Iwata was doing. Because I always really enjoyed those, directly to you. And I feel like we've been kind of missing that with all the Nindies and everything that they've been doing, which those are great presentations, but I miss the fully fledged Nintendo Directs. And I think if he's going to be a younger president catering to a younger audience, like not necessarily younger as in kids, but he said that that the developers are getting younger and that we have to let them manage things, for that audience. Yeah, the key thing here is that management is getting younger. They will have to execute the Switch's growth plan. So in that sense, this is a new start. So it sounds like they're wanting to focus on the younger generation of people like us gaming and not focus on like the stuffy old men and what they've always done. And that's definitely a good thing because the Switch is built for our generation. The people that are always on the go but never want to be without, something to play. And they need to focus on that. Put out games that cater to that. But aren't like silly little 3DS things that are like, built for 5 minutes at a time. It's like if we can take Zelda and Skyrim with us, think about that. Like the best big experiences to take with you. And I think it'll be great. But yeah, we need a younger guy. We can't like the one that was interim did a great job at getting the numbers up. He was all financial focused. He was kind of on the back end, like letting things just continue running how they were, but focus on the financials. And he was really successful. The last 3 years that he was president, they saw like the biggest increases they've seen in years. And a big part of that was because of the Switch launch. Like it's not really anything he did specifically, but they're in a really good place now and just need to focus on innovation. So getting a younger mind in there to lead a lot of these younger development teams that are making things like Splatoon 2 and ARMS and, these new IPs that like Nintendo didn't make a new IP. The last new one was Pikmin on GameCube. Between then and like now, Splatoon was the next new IP, technically, like, big IP. There was a few things on 3DS, like Dylan's Rolling Western and things like that were exclusives, but they weren't like big IPs. So we need more stuff like that, like revolutionizing the series that have been long-standing, like Zelda Breath of the Wild, Even though I don't think it's a perfect Zelda game, I do think it's an amazing game, whether it had the Zelda name or not. Same with Mario Odyssey. That's plays it a little safer, but it's still something drastically different for the Mario series. I have a feeling Metroid Prime 4 will be similar. I hope it doesn't change too much because I really enjoy the Metroid Prime franchise, and I don't think we have enough games in there to really need to revolutionize it. But I honestly would love to see something more of like an open world version of Metroid Prime 3. Like less load times between planets, actually letting you like fly in space, like you do the traveling between planets and then land, and then it goes back to the normal like first person view and you're playing a Metroid Prime game again. But other than that, it's pretty similar, just more of a cinematic experience. But I think we just need them to take more risks, and having a younger guy at the lead I think will make that happen. He'll keep people like Miyamoto who just want the more of the same in check, and hopefully allow more innovation than he has.
What's crazy? He's like the first guy who grew up playing Nintendo games that's now the president of Nintendo.
Yeah. For the record, Iwata was 42 when he became president in 2002. So I believe this guy is the next youngest president. And Iwata was great. Like his reign for Nintendo was the best period they had, in my opinion. So like if he brings it back to what Iwata envisioned, great. I'll be satisfied. We have the next Iwata on our hands. If not, I mean, he's young enough to learn.
Yeah, he seems like he's like gung ho about it. Like he's excited about it, which is what you need.
Exactly, and like you said, he's the president that was raised on Nintendo games, so he gets it.
All right,
that's cool.
Speaking of news, the Wild West Online comes to Steam in 2 weeks.
What?
I don't know. Lo put this story in here about the
Wild West Online. It's a Western, I guess, MMO. They're saying
so. Red Dead Online.
Pretty much, yeah. It's gotten a little bit of buzz just because I guess the original reason it got so much buzz is because someone saw a screenshot of it and thought it was Red Dead 2. It was like, oh my god, it's Red Dead 2. But yeah, it's like a MMO style game. I guess you can pledge to one of two factions. You're either like upholding the law or breaking the law to make money, stuff like that. It's gonna be PvE for the most part. They're gonna have like PvP style events and stuff like that. This is just something I've just been kind of keeping my eye on, just as because there's not a lot of Western games out there. So now we have this and then RDR to look forward to. So I don't know. Like the gameplay looks interesting, but it's trailer footage, so it remains to be seen if the gameplay is actually good. So I guess we'll have to see.
It looks a little rough, and Wild West Online is a terrible title for a game. Like it's super generic sounding.
Yeah,
but you never know.
Exactly. Yeah.
If it's free, I'd check it out.
Yeah, I believe.
I don't really like Wild West stuff. Like I enjoyed Westworld.
Gotcha.
And Wild Wild West is unabashedly one of my favorite movies of that era. I don't even have any shame about that. But as far as games go, and just Westerns in general, I don't really care about that period. I enjoy Steam technology to an extent.
Yeah.
But that doesn't usually get the focus in these kind of games or these kind of, environments.
Right. Yeah, so I thought that was cool. I might check it out. If I do, I'll let you guys know if it's any good.
Do you know if it's going to be free to play or?
It's currently early access, which gives you access to the game a few days ahead. So it sounds like it's going to be free to play, and they have this weird early access founders thing, which gives you I'm not even sure. It gives you some cosmetic items, guns, stuff that's worth around $40 apparently. So
okay,
yeah,
if it goes free, me and you could check it out, see what it's like.
Yeah, that could be fun.
Shoot each other. I'll be the cop, you'll be the robber. Wait,
find some gold. There's gold in them there hills.
Did you just racially stereotype both of you just because of the time period?
No, it was
How
being
dare
a
you.
crazy prospector.
No, I was talking to Thomas.
Oh. I didn't hear what he said anyway, so.
He said you'll be the robber and he'll be the cop.
Oh, that part. Yeah. Well,
yeah.
my only crime
Pretty
is stealing. My only crime is stealing hearts. In that case, guilty as charged. I know. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but seriously, we have to put you in cuffs now.
But seriously though, you're under arrest. Oh. Yeah, you literally stole people's hearts. Like they're dead now. So
what do you need them all for anyway?
Power.
So that he can remain so beautiful.
Yeah.
He needs to maintain his eternal youth.
Like
Where
Stardust?
do these looks come from?
The wrestler?
No, Stardust, the movie / book from Neil Gaiman.
Oh,
where the witches kill people and like steal and eat their hearts to get younger.
Mm-hmm.
The only Neil Gaiman thing I've read was American Gods. That's it.
I mean, that's the best.
Yeah.
Stardust is not a great book, but I friggin' love the movie. It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Speaking of news, Microsoft blocks Halo Online mod El Dorito inside of official Halo coming to PC. So there was like some community online trying to get Halo Online working. I think Halo Online was only meant for China.
Russia.
Yeah. And so someone like was working at it, trying to make it so it works, I guess, North America or just across the world.
Mm-hmm.
And they got it working, but Microsoft had to act their copyright notice or their takedown notice to them to protect their IP. In the update, Phil Spencer says that at this point it is important as we look ahead. We are very excited about the prospects of an official classic Halo experience making its way to the PC. We hope to be able to partner with the El Dorito team and broader mod and content creation community. So, Lou, you're finally getting your wish.
I think it's El Dorito. It's supposed to be like a mashup of Mountain Dew and then Dorito, I think.
Really?
Sorry to like totally.
I thought it was Dorito because I was thinking right.
I think it's.
Oh, that makes sense actually.
Yeah, okay.
It's like a weird
I
play
didn't get
on
that
word.
either.
That's pretty neat.
Sorry, that was like it was on my brain. I had to say it, otherwise it would drive me crazy.
Crack the case.
Do retail, but yeah, this is cool. This is an interesting story because there's another, I guess, sort of independent, sort of like passion project called Installation 01, which actually got the thumbs up. They like got the okay from 343. It's like, oh yeah, keep doing what you're doing, guys. So it's just weird that they were cool with that project and not so much with this one. That it's very possible just because like they just took something and kind of ran with it, whereas these other guys with this other game, they probably like approached like 343 and apparently that's gonna have like
Installation 1 is kind of
too.
like it says it's like an original work built from the ground up,
Yeah.
a separate engine.
Yeah.
While Halo Online was like an actual game that was released.
They took a game that
Yeah.
they just decommissioned and got it working again just without their permission. So it makes sense that they would, hey, stop doing that. But it's also cool that Phil Spencer mentioned, like, we hope to partner with the El Dorito team in the future. So who knows? Maybe they could end up working on, the next Halo on PC or whatever.
Halo 2 coming to Windows 10.
I would bet what this is basically the online component of Halo 6 being available, because they basically said that Halo 6 is coming to Windows. Like, that's not surprising with how Xbox has been lately, and putting all of their first party titles on the Windows Store. But I have a feeling they would put out just like a separate Halo Online thing, kind of like GTA Online and stuff.
Yeah,
that's like an ever evolving, like, kind of online, like games of service type thing. Yeah. And so they didn't want the attention to be taken away from that when it releases, because it might be soon. I'm sure we'll get a release date that might not be too far away for Halo 6 and all that at E3. And they don't want to take away from that announcement. But the fact that they, like you said, they said that they're wanting to partner with the El Dorito team means that maybe that mod could be released inside of their Halo Online and everyone's happy. Who knows?
Hopefully that's how it ends up working out. But you know,
yeah,
Halo on PC, yay!
They've had.
I would love a Halo Online though, with like different game modes, but also like racing missions and stuff, like where you can just kind of jump into a lobby and like choose different missions, kind of like GTA Online.
Yeah,
and you can have
cool.
like ghost races on various maps, and also like the battle royale mode and things like that you can jump into.
Because they have the Forge, they had the Halo 5 Forge that was only that was the only thing that was on like PC. That was weird because it's like you can make like stages and stuff, but you know that's it. So it was weird, but hopefully something like that could be cool. Like make like different game modes and stuff like that. Maybe have a little more freedom as to how you like manipulate like the actual like mechanics and whatnot. That could be neat.
Like the Far Cry 5 level editor, but it would just be the new Forge.
Yeah. High hopes. Got high hopes for Halo.
I would finally get back into Halo if it was on the Microsoft Store, because I'm not going to get an Xbox. So
as long as it's not
Halo, but you'll have to deal with the Windows Store and the Xbox app.
As long as it's not 140 gigabyte download. Looking at you, Gears of War 4.
True. Yeah.
That's the most inexplicable like game file size I've ever seen was Gears of War 4. Because there's really not. I don't feel like there's a lot to that game. I don't know.
There's a lot of shades of brown in that game.
Right. Exactly. Like how many possibly?
That's not right.
There are the splashes of color here or there, but it's mostly like
it's the most colorful Gears of War game, and you're gonna say that's not saying much, but still, it is.
There are the splashes of color which like catch your eye. It's like, oh cool, look, there's leaves, neat. But it's like it's not.
It was like one of the first games that talked about HDR gaming and stuff like that. So.
Yeah.
But anyways,
I don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of neat. We'll see some Halo coming to PC eventually. And our last news story for today. Justin has left the building. All right, I'll wait for the last news story, because it might be something. Well, I know it's something Justin will want to talk about. Unless, Lo, did I miss any other news stories?
Not that I can think of. Okay. While we're waiting to talk about the last news story, I just wanted to mention to everyone that we love you. Yeah, you're cool. You're great.
Stop being sarcastic, man.
No, I'm not. This is from the bottom of my heart, dude. This is my sincere tone. Like, I love you. You're great. You're awesome. Reach for the stars.
I don't know why that made me laugh so much.
Shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you'll end up amongst the stars.
Should you aim for the stars? That way, if you hit the moon, you'll still land among the stars if you miss.
Well, I mean, it's just interesting that they say shoot for the moon, even if you miss, you'll end up, because like technically the moon is closer than any star to you, so it's like technically you would want to shoot for the stars because they're farther.
I can't think of another star that would be closer than the moon, like maybe a satellite.
Right, exactly. Shoot for the satellite that's orbiting the moon. You can do it.
Because not all things in the sky are stars now.
Right. That's true.
Because like you'll see a point of light and be like, oh, that's a star, but it's like, nah, it's a satellite.
It could be a planet or a galaxy or a nebula or a singularity.
I can't imagine how weird it would be like growing up in the Cold War, and they have the first satellite that gets launched, and you see a light moving across the sky.
It's like, what is that?
It's like, that's weird.
Oh my gosh.
Because like when I look up now, I can see like satellites and like the International Space Station and stuff.
Yeah.
Look up.
Okay, or Thanos. So it looks like it cut off after I said there's a lot of shades of brown in this game.
We're just gonna move on to the last news story.
Okay, you might have to cut that weird because I don't think all of my stuff was in there about the Gears of War, but oh well.
It was Gears of War. There's not much to talk about, anyways.
Yeah, I'm just gonna continue it from where it left off, though.
Anyways, you good?
Yep.
All right. Last news story of the day is The Good Life. Good Life has now been funded.
Woo!
And also, there's a demo, so you can go play it if you want to see what it.
Oh yeah, I meant to do
like.
that. Did you try it?
I have not tried it yet. I have downloaded it though.
Oh,
so
nice.
Maybe I'll try that tomorrow. Yeah,
Nice.
it reached his Kickstarter goal. They have a stretch goal for coming to the Switch. That's the next stretch goal. I didn't see what the amount is, but they were showing. Swery was showing off some stuff on his Switch. Some of the stuff that he's working on there.
Yeah, there's a video, I believe, on the.
It's kind of neat following Swery's Twitter account because he's just like frantically tweeting about it. And then like he's like showing off all this cool stuff that's in the game and like what he's planning to do. So he's like,
it's cute how much he tweets and how little he knows English.
Yeah. I believe now in the game you're able to start off with either a dog or a cat. It's not like an option. It's not like an option to get one or the other now. Yeah. It's nice that it got funded.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So yeah.
I was worried for a second because I was. Yeah, right. I was reading the article and I was like, "Oh, with only 9 days left," and I looked up and then, like, as of this recording, it says 8 days ago. I was like, "Oh no!" And then I clicked over to the thing. I was like, "Oh, good." But yeah, it should be a cool. This is a cool looking game. It should be fun to try out. Maybe I'll give this a download.
And that's the news for the week, Justin. I don't know. I thought you guys might have had something more to say, but
no,
Justin.
I mean, like, it looks cool, but we've talked about it a lot. I don't know what else there's to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very dramatic story.
Justin, where can the people find you?
I am at Zero Score on Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, all that stuff. You can also find me here, trying to get this show done without my computer failing.
Oh, Justin, no.
It's just frustrating.
Lo, where can the people find you?
The people can find me on the Twitter at Near the Hero N3R0 THEH3R0. You can also find me on YouTube, Near the Hero spelled with letters, and you can find me here every week with the Charged Shot Boys, talking about the news in gaming.
And you can find me, your host Thomas, on Twitter at CSG Thomas on Twitter. You can also find me here at chargedshot.com, where all our videos, podcasts, and articles are. You can also email me, Thomas at chargedshot.com, and you can also find us on patreon.com/chargedshot. Support us for $1 a month or more. $5 gets you a game a month, a week, a month, or gives you $5 gives you a game every week, and $1 gives you the shows early for a week. So you can help support us and keep the show going. And until then, guys, enjoy your games.
Bye-bye.
Brr.
Stop.